For those of you who are still not able to get good scores in the PTE academic exam, you are still missing out on the 10 strict rules that Pearson implemented in August. So we have hard data evidence of students who did not know about these 10 strict rules and they got very low scores overall. But on the other hand, there are people who trusted our videos and advices and the recommendations and strategies. They flourished with the flying colors. So if you want to find out about those 10 strict rules, like and subscribe and let's watch it right till the end. Hey everyone, this is Anurag here from Edutrainex PTE. I hope you all are doing great. So ignoring these crucial rules is like hitting the axe on your own legs. Our friend Pappu is still following the old ways and he is doing everything in English. Let's hear it.
Sir, I can talk English, I can walk English, I can laugh English, and nowadays I also drink English.
Enough Pappu, enough. So you have the chance to do better than him, definitely. And this video is applicable for PT academic exam, not for PT core. We also provide live classes with unlimited classes and app access facilities. All the resources that we provide is provided for you in our classes. So do WhatsApp us or Telegram us if you are interested to learn directly with us. And if you're already preparing from somewhere, you just need a little bit boost, do explore our priority and VIP membership plans available on the YouTube channel. All the links are given in the description. You will get several facilities in each of these plans depending on how much you need it. So once again, like and subscribe and let's start cracking, understanding what those 10 strict rules are of the PT exam. So the first thing is that we wanted to talk about the summarized written text question. Now you all know that the scoring criteria of the summarized written text question has also changed. Criteria for the length of the response is between 5 and 75 for PT academic. But what we noticed and what we collected the information of the students who wrote less than 50 words. People who wrote less than 50 words, they did not get a very good score, somewhere in 50s. That was their score overall in writing. For people who were in this range, like 50 to 60 words, again, their score was not very high, somewhere in 60s. Only for people who wrote enough, which is greater than 60 or definitely greater than 65 words, close to 70 words. In that range I'm talking about, those students definitely saw 75, 79, even 80 plus scores. So those students definitely got scores 75 plus, 79 plus, even 85 plus. Again, depending on other questions as well, how they did in the other writing module. So content is definitely a priority here. So please do write a lot of words in there, even though the Pearson does not specify that lesser words, but you have to think that content is more weighted now. So we have to provide more content. Okay. The technique is easy, still easy. You can do the copy paste, but there are several catches as well. There is a video that I shared with the strategies on, I think 3 techniques I provided to you for summarized written text. Do follow them. They are still working in the exam. The next strict rule is again about summarized written text. Just now we were talking about the copy paste technique working or not. So yes, it does work, but you have to be careful about the questions. So you can still use this pattern, sentence 1, 2, and 3 in combination with the conjunctions and the commas, full stop in the end. I always tell you to keep a full stop in the end. But sometimes summarized written text question, they start with a question itself. Now this is a snapshot of the prediction file question that we publish on YouTube every month, and you can get access to it by priority or VIP membership plans. Again, the second type of question is another question that is starting, the passage itself is starting with a question. This one is really short, so you can skip it. This one is really big and may have crucial important keywords related to what you need to do. So in these scenarios, if you are don't use the sentence as it is because it is in the question form. What you need to do is you have to answer the question. So in this case, what is the solution for? You can ignore this part and you can write from here. Nations with increasing energy demands, hindered by frequent power cuts and an inability to compete in the international oil market. So this is just a phrase. This is not a question. And this type of phrases you can use it. In this one, you can either ignore it or you can say, what is museology? So you can say museology is the study of museums and their history. So if you can answer the question in this way, then definitely you can continue using the phrases, whatever is there. But it should make sense. Don't put it in the question form. The third secret, again related to summarized written text. Now you know summarized written text has become more important now. Why? Because it also boosts your reading scores. Okay, up to 20 points from 2 questions of summarized written text, equally important for your writing module as well. The third type of question that you see sometimes, not many have got this type of questions, is having conversations instead of a normal passage. So you may see 2 or 3 or 4 people conversing about some topic. Then how do you summarize this kind of question? Because this kind of question is written in first person, like I, you, we, first person, second person. But what we need to write is always in the third person. Okay, so you have to convert it into third person. Now, if you see, I have highlighted the phrases that we have picked up for the answer. So you can start with a complex or compound type of sentences. I already shared that in that video. You can start with words like while, although, not only, but also, all those kind of phrases you can use. Although, and then I picked up Sarah explained, because this is what Sarah is explaining. Sarah explained. So you have to put words like this. Sarah explained, Roger mentioned, when I'm using this guy's phrases. And then lastly, Tom mentioned. So, but the pattern is still the same. I'm using the conjunction right in the middle, as you can see here and you can see here. So I'm combining the phrases, and be careful about the word count as well. If you follow this technique, you will have enough word counts, around 65 and more. That is good enough. Even close to 75, that is also brilliant. Okay, so what is required here is you convert it into third person. You are saying Sarah explained, not I. So you have to remove all the I's and we and you, all those things. So Sarah explained, if students can get essays from AI, she wonders if they know what they actually understand. See, what we have changed is I wonder, she wonders, that they know what they is already there. So we'll use it as it is. Same thing for Roger mentioned that for people who don't speak English as their first language. See, like for people who don't speak as their first language or those with learning difficulties, it could be really good grammar check or a brainstorming partner. Now this sentence is good because it's already in third person, not in I or you. So you can use it as it is. The third one, if you are not spending, again, this guy, Tom. So you have to modify that. So instead of if you are, I just generalized it. If people are, okay. If people are not spending ages on basic sentences, they could really, so you can see they could really get into more complex analysis. So these are the type of questions that you can see. So that becomes the third of the summarized written text question. So that was the type of questions again related to summarized written text. Now the final strict rule related to summarized written text, which I have covered multiple times in my videos, is that you have to follow proper punctuations. Don't miss that. Always a full stop in the end and no more than one full stop. Otherwise, what will happen? Straight away you will get a 0 score. Okay, it will not even check your response if there are more than one full stops or there are no full stops. So please be careful about, it's just a dot sign that you have to put in the end and store it into your memory that you have to do it. And again, if you make a lot of grammar mistakes while combining the phrases, or if you're writing on your own, then the scores will go right till the bottom. So this is another stricter rule. I'll explain it in the end. Okay, in the end, this is a very important part that you need to understand related to grammar and spellings, how it can affect your scores in the present day's exam format. The next secret or the strict rule that I'm going to talk about is related to your speaking question. Read aloud. Read aloud used to be a very important question for speaking as well as for reading for the PT Academic and UKVI exam. And this is still the case for PT Core exam. So it is still important for your reading and speaking. But what has happened in PT Academic and UKVI is that after the changes, it has become a lesser important. First of all, it has stopped contribution to reading, no contribution to reading, only to speaking, and how much contribution is also very reduced. So that's why it's not a very important question. Just attempt it and move to the more important ones. The more important ones now are describe image. Again, we'll take up that stricter rule related to describe image as well in this video itself. Let's talk about other areas. Other areas are again the number 5th strict rule is related to essays. Okay, you all know how essays are important now. So what is the wrong thing that people do? Still continue to do. You use the wrong type of templates, or you are using the wordy templates which already have many ready-made sentences not allowing you to write. Or the templates which are just asking you to put keywords or topic and then you expect to get a good score out of it. That's not going to happen. It's a very hard truth that you need to understand, you need to digest and move on from there. There are still good ways to write essays. We have already showed you that. We have shown you the structure, the essays, the templates, everything we have shown, even without a template, how you can write. So there are videos available on our channel for doing exactly that. Okay, so please avoid these kind of templates. Now what happens? Another stricter rule related to the templates and the type of structures that you are using is, even when you are using a good structure, you're still not getting good marks. Why? Because of bad content. Sometimes you may get a question related to artificial intelligence talking about translation of foreign language. And then you get excited and start talking about ChatGPT and implementation of making videos and slides and documentation. That was not the question. The question was related to translation of a foreign language. So don't just pick up the word artificial intelligence and start writing the essay. So that becomes irrelevant ideas, and that's why you lose a lot of points for that. So please, irrelevant thing is something that AI can detect easily related to the topic, and then it will highlight it for a human review, and they will see that you have deviated away from the topic, you have not written relevant content, lose a lot of marks. Hardly 40 score you will get with this kind of response, even though you have used everything correctly. And what happens with bad structure? Now, some people decide to write their own essays, nothing wrong with that, but you still need to follow the structure that is expected from you. I've explained it several times that this is an argumentative type of essays that we write in PTE academic exam, not discursive type of essays. And you can Google it yourself, you can read the PTE scoring guidelines yourself as well and analyze whether we are saying whatever we are saying is correct or not. You will find that there are mentions related to, you have to provide main ideas, you have to provide supporting ideas, you have to provide examples, you have to provide opinions. If you miss out on that, no supporting information, no examples, no opinion in the essay, then even though you have written everything grammatically correct, because you did not use a good structure to present your response, you will not get good marks. So please stick to the structure. Even though you don't want to use the template, use the structure, how it is presented, how you need to write. Okay, that will save you, that will get you a very good score. We have tried it. And as I said, there is hard data evidence to support this fact. Our students are using the structure and the template as well. They are doing well in the exam. Now, what I wanted to elaborate, sometimes how you can still lose marks in essay writing. Let's see the topic. Effective study requires time, comfort, and peace. The second part of the question. It is impossible to combine a student's learning with employment because one may distract the other. To what extent do you think the statements are realistic? Give your opinion with examples. So what happens is, if you still stick to only this part and you forgot to talk about the employment part or job part, then you are missing out. See, this is an example. First paragraph, I started talking about people need a peaceful environment to study and excel in academics, blah, blah, blah. And then comes the supporting information, example and conclusion of that paragraph. And second paragraph again. Secondly, students need sufficient time and comfort to be able to invest enough time in studies, and also they need a comfortable place to relax and focus. Okay, there is a typo here. This should be D, and focus. What did I do? I wrote everything correctly, right? Still relevant to the topic, but why did I not get a good score with this type of response? Is because I did not include anything related to the second part of the question prompt. Read it very carefully. Whatever is mentioned there, we need to at least touch base with those aspects as well. So we need to use them somewhere in the essay. Maybe one paragraph for this sentence, cover those areas. Second paragraph, you have to talk about students learning, how they can combine it with employment. So you have to talk about practicality there, or job related experience, how learnings can be applied there. So if you are missing out on that, then of course you will lose marks. This is also a very strict rule. Earlier, this was not that much stricter. Even if you wrote about one side of the topic or just first sentence, then you were not losing that many marks, but now people are. So be careful what you are writing. The previous slide that I talked about related to the structure, related to the template, and this is related to the relevance. The seventh one, again related to the writing questions, essays and summarized spoken text. If you still use only keywords or only use short sentences. What is short sentence? With us just 3 words or 4 words, subject, verb, object. Tom plays football. That's a 3-letter subject, verb, object. Perfect sentence, nothing wrong grammatically, but this is a very short sentence. Or Tom plays football perfectly, 4 words. So those are the kind of phrases you have to avoid. We need to get marks for extended writing. That can only be achieved if you are writing longer sentences using compound and complex patterns. I showed you in the essay writing how you can easily make a compound sentence out of 2 phrases that you can write. So even in summarized written text, you are using the same concept. You are taking 2 sentences, combining it with a conjunction, and those 2 sentences are independent. But using conjunction, we are able to make a longer sentence, right? So same technique, you have to use it in essays. Don't be conjuice in that. Don't be, try to write little bit more. And if you are worried about your typing mistake, then do practice your typing so that you can type a lot more. Again, I will say the secret or the strict rule related to essay writing is your essays should definitely be above 270 to 75 words. Even though the word count requirement is only 200, if you just write 201 word, you will get 2 points for the form, which is perfectly fine, but you will lose points for content. Definitely you lose points for vocabulary, general linguistics, even development structure and coherence if you do not follow proper structure. So words are definitely important. 6 points for content now. 6 points for general linguistics. So 12 points, major points. You will lose if you just write very short sentences. The essay will finish in 200 words. Okay. So don't do that if you want to get good scores. Again, as I said, we checked with 10 students who used very little amount of words in the essay. Satisfying the criteria, 200, 210, 220, they did not get good marks. Whereas the students who wrote, like 270, 280 words or even 290 words, in the exam, they got good scores in essays as well as in the whole writing module. So of course, if you get good score in PT writing, that means you did well in essays as well. Now, changing the topic a little bit, going back to speaking, the 8th strict rule is related to describe image. Content again is really, really important, and you already know that these type of questions, 7 or 8 type of questions are still going for manual checks, and they can. So the AI can detect which kind of response you have provided. I'm going to speak about it for 40 seconds. This is a very beautiful and informative image. Satyanash.
Khatam. Bye bye. Tata. Goodbye. Gaya.
Don't do like that. So if you speak like that, you cannot recover. This question has become very important. Almost 30% of your speaking marks are coming from describe image, 31%. I can't quantify it exactly, but roughly around that. Okay. On our portal, if you are our live class student, there is a tab that shows you the score distribution, marking criteria, integration. Everything is detailed out there. And also we discuss it in our classes. So again, this question, I have taken it from our prediction file. Nothing major with this question, nothing very complex. Now, if you're worried about complex type of image where there is no textual information, we do have a brilliant video explaining you 3 to 4 different ways how to tackle those type of question and still get full marks. Now, of course, some people when they go to the exam, they only get complex type of images. So you should definitely be prepared for those scenarios. Okay, don't expect that I can only get one type of complex image. You can get all of them. So be prepared for that. So what is this? This is a bar graph, 2 types, okay, unemployment rate in 2007 and median weekly average in 2007 dollars. So this is the kind of structure that we gave it to you, and we are still using it perfectly fine, no problem with that. The dash represents title for x-axis, y-axis. If there is no x-axis, y-axis, you just increase the length of the phrase and you recognize the type of image, very important. So if you say this is a bar graph, instead of that you just say image represents, you will lose points for recognition, right? Because this is a bar graph, you should know that. The bar graph represents, what does it represent? Then you describe the educational pays, unemployment rate in 2007, as well as median weekly earnings in 2007. So that's how you make a title out of it. And then you can use this structure or this template to give you some momentum. See, the first few sentences are a little bit longer to give you more momentum so that you have some amount of words already in your mind, what I need to speak, and then you can pick up. Now, if you notice the later part of the sentences, then it trims down shorter. So by that time, in the first 3 sentences, you will already have picked up momentum, and then you can speak more freely. Okay, don't start thinking about it while you are trying to speak. Whatever you see, observe, just keep on speaking, and don't use clustered keywords. Don't say I can see yellow, green, blue, black. Don't use collection of keywords. Try to make meaning out of it. You can say an unemployment rates in 2007 is shown in yellow for various degree categories, something like that. And then you can say weekly earning in 2007, median weekly earnings in 2007 is shown in blue, again for different bachelor's, master's or other degree categories. So that's how you have to say. So if I am attempting this, then you can say there is a clear indication that the left bar graph shows unemployment rate in percentage. Similarly, the image also supports the right bar graph shows median weekly rates, earnings in dollars. Moreover, it highlights that the doctoral degree is maximum at around 1500 and has lowest unemployment rate. However, it indicates the associate degree has 3% unemployment rate, which is maximum and lowest salary. Finally, we can clearly see that as people study more bachelor's or master's too compared to doctor's degree, because the pay rates are higher. So something like that, you have to identify conclusion. And see, I'm just saying approximate percentages. Even you don't have to specify the exact number. When you try to do that, you fumble. 1497, 1165. So those are the kind of responses that you try to say, and that's where you fumble. So you can say approximately 1100 or close to 1000 or around 740 or 750, and this is close to 1500. So that's what I said, right? 1500. I did not say 1497, because those kind of responses will has the potential to make you fumble, make you hesitate, which is the number one enemy for you when you go for the exam. So that is the secret and the strict rule related to describe image. Don't play with your exam. Trust these techniques. These have been working for the students from a long time, and this will keep on working because this is an actual way of solving the exam question, no tricks involved. Okay, the 9th one, we take summarize spoken text before we move on to the important and the last one, which is related to grammar and spellings. Summarize spoken text, again, you have to follow a proper structure. You can use skeletal templates, or even some templates in some sentences can be little longer, no problem with that. But definitely you need to write more. So you cannot have a template that has more words in the template than what you are writing. So the template should be little bit, so like 50 to 70 words you have to write for the PTE academic exam. And if the template itself is around 50 words, then you can only write 20 words. So if you see this one is around 15, below 20 words, right? So you still have the potential to write 50 more words. And there are enough keywords that you get from the lecture that you hear, and you have to just write phrases. And try to make 1 or 2 phrases a little bit longer, at least. The first one, use compounding technique that I showed you. Last one also you can use compounding technique. And the middle ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can write. Still try to write at least 5 words or more longer phrases. Okay, don't stick to Tom plays football 3 word phrases. Don't stick to that. Okay, again, don't be conjuice. Use a lot of words that you heard. Sometimes you can repeat the same words, but don't try to be over repetitive. So if you do that, no problem. Again, we have very, very hard evidence for this template as well. Working 100% fine. We have tested it ourselves. You can use it freely. So sometimes you will see the speaker discuss the critical ideas related to, and then you put a phrase there. Okay, so one sentence you can use longer part of the template, but be careful about the word count of the template itself. And the last but not the least, very, very important part is you are missing out is related to grammar and spelling. Now, whatever questions you see for writing, essays, summarize written text, summarize spoken text. In summarize written text, there is no marks for spellings because you already see the whole passage. But in essays, summarize spoken text, yes. And what happens with spellings and grammar? You think they only contribute 2 marks. So even if I make spelling mistakes, even if I make grammar mistakes, I will lose maximum 4 points, right? That's what you are thinking. But this is not the case happening right now. If you make grammar mistakes, it will. If you make spelling mistakes, the other scoring criterias, In essays, there are 7 scoring criteria. And if you remember, content will be impacted because of spelling mistakes. Vocabulary will be impacted. Even your general linguistics will be impacted because of spelling mistakes. Same thing for grammar. If you make grammar mistakes, again, content will be impacted if the AI is not able to detect what type of sentence you are trying to make. So grammar will affect the general linguistics. It can also affect your structure and coherence because the essay becomes disbalanced with wrong grammar, right? So that's why it becomes a little bit hard for the AI to detect, and the scores, they go to the rock bottom. So please don't improve your grammar mistakes, improve your spelling mistakes, and don't make those mistakes in the exam. There are simple ways of doing it. I have been telling you that from a long time. Follow those techniques, see and watch the essay writing videos that we have on our channel. Also, we have a dedicated playlist for grammar, dedicated playlist for spellings. Every month we are publishing that, and that will tell you the word list or the words that are repeatedly being asked in the exam. Also, especially important for listening. We have one for vocabulary as well, which looks after your reading module. So these playlists are available for free on YouTube, but if you are looking for extra facilities like the exam repeated questions, templates, you need grammar ebooks, you need spelling list, you need vocabulary list, exclusive access to our videos, then YouTube VIP membership plan is the answer for that. You get it everything in one file from our post. Once you get the membership, you go to the post or membership tab on our channel and you will find a link only visible to members. You can download it from there. So students, again, hard evidence related to this particular question is, so for 20 students, we collected the data related to grammar and spelling and how they were doing it in the exam. When we evaluated their essays, we found a lot of grammar mistakes, some spelling mistakes as well. And the scores that they got in the exam for writing module was only 60s. Maximum 60s they were able to touch, but because they had a lot of grammar mistakes, some spelling mistakes as well, they were not able to reach higher scores. So that can also happen to you. You need to be careful. So that sums up the 10 strict rules that the Pearson exam has implemented recently for the PT Academic and UKVI. UKVI is still simpler. Academic is the main target for these changes. So I hope you understand all these areas now, and then you can go confidently to the exam. And if you are looking for live classes, then do WhatsApp us and do Telegram us. We do provide not only just the live classes, but our portal access will provide you a lot of benefits, a lot of resources, excellent feedbacks for any question that is related to writing or speaking, or even excellent explanations for reading module as well. And if you have not watched the video related to the essays with template, without template that we published on our channel, you should go and watch it. And very recently we also published the 10 days writing challenge. So that will give you the steps and the planning how you can improve your writing scores. Keep watching Edutrainex, and I'll soon be back with another super informative video on PT topics. See you soon.